Have you ever won a bet? A bet, either big or small. A bet you made with your friends, or a bet you made with a person you just met on the basketball court. We make bets all the time in our life, whether it's for monetary gain or just for a preference. Betting adds an entertainment that can make the most mundane events interesting, and even increase the excitement of an already exciting event. We make bets all the time in our life, whether it's for monetary gain or just for a preference. Betting adds an excitement that can make the most mundane events interesting and even increase the excitement of an already thrilling competition, especially in the world of sports. Sports betting has gained immense popularity in the US over the last few years, and a large reason for that is the legalization of online sports betting in 20 states according to www.actionnetwork.com. These 20 states have found that online sports betting generates tax revenue, provides more jobs, and produces a safer, more fun source of entertainment that should be legalized for all the citizens of the US. Since individual states are responsible for the legalization of online sports betting, the most important thing from the state's perspective is what does their government have to gain by passing the law. States have the ability to tax the revenue of online sports books. They can set a percentage of the amount of money the sports books make and tax it so that they can potentially make a lot of money from a small percentage. To give a rough estimate for the hold or percentage the government makes, NCSL.org states that the average hold on online sportsbook is 7.2%. Though this may seem like a small percentage, it can turn into tremendous yield, especially with the rise in popularity. In fact, according to usnews.com, since online sports betting was legalized in 2018, it has generated $1.3 billion in state and local taxes, and that was only between 20 states. Now, I imagine the majority of my audience is not working in the government, so you may be thinking, why is this good for the rest of us? Well, with all that additional income, the government can use the money to make improvements for things in our everyday lives. The development and restoration of schools, roads, and even health clinics are all possible benefits from the legalization of online sports betting in each state. Believe it or not, though, this is not the only way that legalizing online sports betting can positively impact society. An often overlooked aspect of this topic is that it can provide a plentiful number of new jobs for and against sports betting companies. Sportsbooks need to hire analysts, odd makers, security teams, and many more positions to make sure their company can both make money and give customers reasonable odds to bet on, all while providing monetary security for both themselves and customers. There are already 8 major companies in the sports betting world according to TheLines.com, which will all need to grow their staff when expanding to potentially 30 more states, which is more than half the states currently accessible. In addition, these are only the major companies, so smaller businesses or future startups will also be looking for multiple candidates in multiple positions, which is great for the economy of the US. Also, some people like to take an alternative career path to joining the sportsbooks by making shows and podcasts where they study and research the best odds and most risk-free bets to take and give their opinions to their audience. These type of shows have grown in popularity concurrently with the rise of online sports betting, and more shows are sure to arise with the legalization of online sports betting in all of the US. Finally, the last key factor of fully legalizing online sports betting is it's fun and entertaining. Though it sounds so simple, it is genuinely the reason why it has gained so much popularity in recent years. Sports betting is a source of entertainment because it is essentially just a game where you can either win or lose. And the best part about it is, the user can control their punishment for losing by determining how much they are willing to potentially lose to play. Now, obviously, while I'm explaining all the benefits online sports betting brings, I'm not going to pretend like there are not some harsh realities and bad consequences that betting is associated with. The largest argument against online sports betting is that betting overall is harmful and damaging to everyone, but the realism is that gambling is not as bad as it is imaged. According to PlayItSafeOhio.org, only 2 to 3% of Americans actually have problems with gambling too much with casinos and lotteries. And though obviously we would like no one to suffer from issues caused by gambling, online sportsbooks provide multiple links and resources for their users if they are struggling with gambling addictions. Furthermore, if you want to argue that online sports betting will promote gambling, you fail to realize that it already exists in the world in the form of video games. Every single prominent video game released into the United States nowadays has some form of gambling aspect to it. mainly in the form of loot boxes or packs. According to ncbi.nlm.nih.gov, in 2019, 78.5% of video gamers reported gambling in-game. Now, considering that WePlayHolding.com states about 65% of all Americans play video games, that means approximately 51% of Americans are already gambling on video games. When comparing that to the number of Americans that bet on sports betting, the Washington Post declares that only 8% of Americans regularly bet on sports games, which is a tremendously lower number than the percent that gamble on video games. So, to say online sports betting would heavily impact the promotion of gambling is statistically incorrect. The bottom line is that online sports betting should be viewed as a fun source of entertainment that people and their friends can indulge in, and that it clearly does not hold the unreasonable reputation many label on it. Online sports betting provides an exciting way to enhance sporting events while also providing proper links and resources for gambling problems, which many video games do not provide at all. The legalization of sports betting all across the US would only bring positive aspects to all sports fans and even promote the popularity of sports leagues and events that don't get enough attention. So, overall, I've explained that sports betting should be legalized all across the US for its generation of tax revenue, job creation, and entertainment value. Sports betting has gotten hit with heavy criticism since its legalization. However, it does not entail the labels that has been given. Sports betting is fun and interactive entertainment that people can enjoy by themselves or with friends and family. It is an activity that can positively impact the American economy while simultaneously giving Americans a pleasurable sense of excitement and thrill, all which comes together as perfect reasoning for U.S. states to legalize online sports betting. Thank you.